Hey, what's going on? How's it going? This is for Namdi's Big 4-0. Before I answer the first question, which is to describe the relationship I have with Namdi, allow me to preface my response by stating that I am the only male child of my parents. This is important because I always wanted an older brother. He is one of my brothers in this world. So, to answer your question, Namdi is one of my brothers in this world. The next question of interest that the Queen herself would like me to answer is how long I have known Nahadi. Well, he would be in a better position to offer an accurate and precise response to that inquiry because he is slightly of a higher age than I am, being that he has existed in this planet we call Earth longer than I have. But what I will say is he and I have known one another since the Bush administration. The next inquiry of interest that the Queen herself would like me to offer my succinct yet detailed answer to is that of when the first time I met Namdi was. My earliest and clearest memory of Namdi was when I was in the fourth grade. He and I were players and participants in the group and society known as Talented and Gifted of DC, aka briefly and acronymically TAG, TAG. My father dropped me off at Coolidge High School at the front gate of this massive school I'd never been inside before, and I went in and I'm just lost. Lost. I'm looking for the area where we were supposed to be at, and after asking a couple of questions, I ended up at the gym. I get in there, and across the bleachers, I see my boy Namdi. I said, "Hey, Namdi, what's going on, bruv?" I give him an air hug. So he saw me, winked, and gave me a head fake. Now, mind you, that day I was wearing the normal attire for a fourth grader in the summertime, Nigerian fourth grader in the summertime, which was a tank top, some sandals, and some booty shorts, 4 inches above the kneecaps. So Namdi, Mr. Cool, he was wearing some hip hop stuff. So as I approached him, I realized that he had one of the most beautiful gals I had ever seen up until that point of my life flanked on his arm. He saw me coming and kind of gave me the Heisman. I said, "What's going on, man?" He gave me a wink and a nod again, and I realized that he didn't want me to net out to him because I would have been cramping his style. So just to ensure that that was the signal I did not want to mix up, I took another step further. Namdi turned his head in disgust. I said, "Okay." I looked at myself. I said, maybe it's the outfit. I don't know. The funniest memory I have of Namdi are many and plentiful, but the two that stood out. One, on or about his 21st birthday, Namdi gifted himself a set of colored contact lenses. After he got the contacts, a couple of days later, we went to the mall and he got himself a purple denim outfit. Namdi wanted to meet up with one of his friends and he wore his purple denim outfit. So I wasn't paying attention much at the time. We were talking and we parked, got out of the car, met up with friends. They jumped into their conversation and I got distracted. Then I zoned back in and I realized that Namdi, he was just intense. He wasn't smiling. I'm like, what's the problem? I thought they were talking about going to work or something along those lines. And then I look at his face. Oh my goodness. Namdi has on some Thanos colored contact lenses. Namdi's eyes are fuchsia colored purple. I couldn't believe it. And he was staring intently and deliberately into his friend's soul so his friend could believe that Namdi was born with or had evolved and was now the proud owner of a set of purple colored eyes. The next question Queen Mrs. would like me to answer is how I have seen him grown or evolve. Well, to be brutally honest, Namdi and I were massive jacks back then. We thought it was funny though. We weren't doing anything out of the ordinary or being mean-spirited. We just had zero tolerance for many of the ongoings in our surroundings and environs. But I believe Namdi is a lot more patient now, a lot less judgmental. He's matured into a great and effective leader. And his greatest area of improvement was picking the perfect woman for him, who has helped him become a much better person overall. The next question is positive affirmations. And chapter 3 has concluded. You are on the cusp of chapter 4 with 7 more chapters to come. This is the beginning. You've only scratched the surface. I ardently and wholeheartedly believe that. So happy birthday, happy 40th. And I still remember when Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan were on the Bulls, Jordan gifted him a Porsche for his birthday. So I owe you a Porsche and you owe me a Porsche. So we have to exchange gifts at some point. These are the end credits. Some fun facts about Namdi. Fact: Namdi's initials are NKI. Fact: the K stands for King. Fact: he rarely used it until we started our company. Fact: he taught me the concept of perfect timing. Fact: it's not today that he started repping Nigeria. His name on Black Planet was Mr. Nigeria. Do you remember yours? Fact: he's the reason I started rapping. Namdi is one half of the rap duo known as the White Tigers, and I so badly wanted it to be a trio back then. Another little known fact, Namdi is one of the progenitors, the forefathers of the genre known as mumble rap. Fact: another funny story. Namdi taught me the concept of self-preservation. How do you ask? Well, on or about the time he got his first set of tattoos, Namdi told me, yo, Chris, man, I can't wait for you to die. I said, what? He said, yeah, man, because when you die, I'm going to get a tattoo of you right here. He would slap his bicep, or right there, he would slap his shoulder. What? That day, I abandoned my rap ambitions, straightened out my life, and focused on my studies. Please, I have to stay off of Namdi's arm. Fact: Namdi was a multi-sport athlete and very agile. Namdi used to do running handsprings and ended with one of those jumping double backflip routines that you see in the Olympic trials. If you look at him now, can you imagine him doing backflip left and right? He reached his adult height when he was 13 years old, and he also started shaving when he was 13 years old because he had a full beard. Namdi was a high school teammate of 3-time All-Star Steve Francis, and I used to needle him all the time. Namdi, why are you not in NBA now? Fact: Namdi was blindingly fast. One instance in particular that I remember vividly was when he got his shiny new bike. We were in front of his house, and I asked him, Namdi, yo, what's going on, man? Air hug. Let me take a spin of your new bike. No. I said, just down the street and back. I'll bring it right back, just down the street and back. No. So he went and got distracted. He went to the house, started doing some backflips. So I took his bike and I zoomed off. I was going downhill. Namdi used to live at the top of the hill. So I'm going downhill at full speed. All of a sudden, I decelerated. I felt a hand on my shoulder and another hand underneath the saddle. And the bike came to a complete stop after a couple of more seconds. I turned around. I said, what in God's name was that? Looked, I saw Namdi. Get off my bike, man. I said, goodness gracious, you are fast. I said, you got it, bruh. You got it, bruh. I turned around. Namdi's house was this small, and I had a 50-yard head start on him. I remember that much. Fact, Namdi is a master strategist. When his sister was about 12 years old, Namdi hammered it into her head that she had to become a doctor. Of course, she wanted to be a model or an actress or whatever it is these children want to be these days. But he told her, he said, you can study whatever you want in undergrad, get your bachelor's degree, but throughout the 4 years, you're studying for your MCAT. So when you take it in your senior year, it's a cakewalk. Now the young lady is in med school. Fact. Namdi taught me how to cut my hair. Summertimes in particular were very fun for me at his house because he used to cut my hair on a very regular basis. And this was significant for me because as the child of a strict and thrifty Nigerian father, I was opportune to get my hair cut an average of once every 9 weeks. So my hair was nice and nappy almost all the time. So as we approached adulthood, or actually when we were adults, Namdi was finally fed up after almost 10 years of cutting my hair. He said, Uzama, I can't do this anymore. I said, okay, Namdi, teach me how to cut my hair. He said, okay, what's gonna happen is we have to wait till the summertime because I'm going to let you practice on my younger brother. I was elated. But then I asked myself, why wait till the summertime? He said, because I don't want Obi going to school with the haircut you give him. I'm thinking I'm not gonna mess it up that badly. So summertime rolls around and I have my guinea pig ready for me with a full head of hair. That was the first and last time Namdi allowed me to cut Obi's hair. I became my own guinea pig. But practice makes perfect. After a while, I said, you know what, I'm tired of cutting my hair. I just took it all off. And it looks like Namdi has made the same decision. After a while, you just get tired of cutting your hair now. You just take it all off. And I believe the ladies like it, you know. Fact, Namdi reintroduced me to the hip hop culture after I spent a number of years living in Nigeria. When I came back, I heard one of my favorite songs on the radio, Super Thug by Noriega. But the issue was, I'd never heard his name pronounced before. So I read it and I thought it was Noriega. So I meet up with Namdi. Yo, air hug, Namdi, what's going on, man? What's up with that new Noriega? He said, who? Noriega. He said, Noriega. Noriega. He said, Noriega? I said, no, Noriega. He said, Uzama, it's Noriega. I said, it's Noriega. That's a Nigerian name. He just slapped his forehead and shook his head. A few minutes later, song comes on and the DJ announces the name of the artist is Noriega. I looked at Namdi. I went to the darkest corner of his house and I used the next 15 minutes to evaluate every decision I had made in my life up until that point. Second rap story. Just came back from Nigeria, humming one of my favorite songs, of which I believe to be the #1 song in the world, which was Waterbed Have. So I run up on Namdi, air hug. Yo, Namdi, what's going on, man? Yo, have you heard this song by Heavy D? He said, who? I said, Heavy D. He said, I haven't heard a single song from him in a long time. In my mind, I said, strike one. I said, what you mean? He said, I don't think Heavy D still makes music. I said, what are you talking about? He has the #1 song in the country of Nigeria. He said, how you sing it? I was like, baby, don't be afraid to show your love. And I just saw a mask of confusion and uncertainty and unfamiliarity on his face. I said, Namdi, what's going on? You never heard the song? He said, sing something else in the song. It's a heavy, heavy. Baby, baby, biggie, biggie, diggy, diggy. He said, Uzama, I never heard that song a day in my life. I walked inside Namdi's house, found the darkest corner, and began to evaluate every decision I had made up until that point in my life for the next 15 minutes. Third hip-hop story. Again, I had just come back from Nigeria a year later. I'm in Namdi's house, and we're watching MTV Jams or BET something. And one of my favorite songs comes on. Deepest bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. Deepest bluest, my head is like a shark's fin. So I noticed Namdi looking at me like I was running crazy. I said, Namdi, what's going on? Namdi pulled me to the darkest room in his house, in the corner, right in the corner, and he whispered in my ear, Uzama, don't you ever tell anybody outside of this house that LL Cool J is your favorite rapper or Deepest Bluest is your favorite song. And he left me in the room. I spent the next 15 minutes evaluating every decision I had made up until that point in my life. Fact, Namdi was a massive hip hop head, and he had a catalog of music that rivaled anyone's iTunes library today. I mean, thousands upon thousands of songs and hundreds of CDs, each of which I used to shape my preferences for rap artists and hip hop. And it's because of him I started listening to Biggie, to Jay Z, and eventually I finally started listening to Nas. But one person he was 1,000% wrong about was Dragon. He thought Dragon was going to be bigger than Ja Rule. Fact, Namdi and I used to be directors. We would do a series of skits based on some of our favorite television shows at the time, including commercials with Michael Jordan and Larry Bird in them, commercials with wrestlers, commercials with our favorite comic book characters. I was Batman, he was the Joker, his brother was Razor Ramon. We did a talk show skit. I had so much fun during those times. And in essence, what I'm saying is that Namdi is extremely creative. Again, Namdi, congratulations. Happy birthday. Happy Big 4-0. We'll be there to celebrate with you.